Welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Myth-Busting Locksmith. So hopefully by now, if you're still following me, you would have learnt a variety of different things. What locks look like from the outside, what they look like from the inside, what it is like to dissect and study locks, and how they can be useful, and how the various security products that I advertise, sell, test and destroy can be useful as well in the right situation and right environment. Of course, I'm not teaching you how to pick locks, how to bypass, bump or otherwise manipulate or get past locks, because I've paid a lot of money to do the training to learn this. But I'm hoping to show you and teach you where you can save money, where you can stop being ripped off, what good locks are, what bad locks are, and the locks that I would not recommend and what I would wholeheartedly destroy and throw in the nearest wheelie bin. So hopefully helping you to avoid the crap that's out there and get the good stuff, and realise when it's worth paying the money for the good stuff, when it's worth really paying the money for the very good stuff, and when it's appropriate to blow £100 on a chain and padlock to lock up your bike, and when it's worth just spending £10 or £20 on a cheap lock that would be good security. Along with that, the locks. Why spend a £5, £10, £15 or £50 on a rim cylinder or a Euro cylinder when you really don't need to? I have a £15 rim cylinder in my door and it does the job. I've advertised and recommended to other people £60 rim cylinders and £60 Euro cylinders, and it's all appropriate. I don't live in a £500,000 house in a very prestigious area. I do not need a fancy lock. But the reason for today's video is about marketing and branding your small locksmith business. Because when I was training with the Master Locksmith Association, I loved their courses, the training was excellent, but it was spread over 5 days. You had 2 days foundation course, you had a UPVC door course, you had a lock fitting course, you had level 1 lock picking and level 2 lock picking. I then went on to do advanced lock picking, and I plan to do glass and aluminium doors and roller shutters. But what I spotted very early on was becoming a member, first of all, saved me money, and secondly, I decided to do one course, then go away, study, research, photograph and work out as much as I possibly could about everything I'd learned from the course, put it into practice and see how far I got. Then a month or 2 months later, go back and do it again. I did this over the 5 courses, and then I did the 6th course, and I in fact spread it over 2 years because coronavirus kicked in and it was delayed for 6 months for me. So by the time I got to the end of the 2 years, I had completed the 6 courses, but the other way around, I completed 6 courses over 2 years. So I had knowledge, I had experience, and I had a million photos in Google Drive. Along with this, it allowed me to set up LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and in fact this YouTube account. So by the time that I got to my 2-year end of journey, my company had started up, I was making a lot of sales, I was getting a few jobs picking locks to get people in their houses, I was doing a few lock replacements, and I was coming along very well. But of course, spreading the courses out over 2 years, I ended up joining on the end of a group that had done their Monday to Friday. So I had spent 2 years doing 5 courses, they had spent 5 days doing 5 courses, and the difference in knowledge and experience and success was absolutely apparent. Now, the reason for this lesson today is because we had a guy on the course. He was 4 years older than me, and at the end of the last course that I completed, which was for me, as I say, 2 years in, which is a very important point to reiterate, he had literally done 5 days and said, how do I make money? How do I go and make money as a locksmith? And I thought, after 5 days, you've got no chance, because I spent the last 2 years studying, researching, practicing, photographing, dissecting, rebuilding, repinning, and everything else besides. I built up 31 toolboxes, I had advertising on 5 different social media outlets, and I had my own branding. And my heart sank for him because I felt so bad that he had done the training and just realised that he didn't even know where to start because he hadn't reached the start line. So, branding. My advice today would be various things. First of all, you've got to come up with a company name. When you've come up with your company name, get the website address, get your domain name, get everything you can using your name out there, get it registered with Companies House, and make sure that nobody else can steal your idea. Then come up with a logo. The next thing is you must have a logo. Now for me, this is my logo. It's just got on the floor. This is my logo. As you can see, I have created this from a well-known advertising company. Small green key, black circle, very simple. Now, once you've got your logo, you can apply it to everything. And what I have done, as you will see, is I have created envelope seals. And these are not expensive to produce. You can get 250 printed up very cheaply. And they are lovely little stickers. And what you do is you just simply peel off your sticker like this, and you stick it on the back of your envelope. So every single envelope that you ever send away, you put that on the back, and everyone will know your brand. So your envelopes will look like this. See, it sticks it over, it seals it down, it looks neat and tidy, and it looks nice and professional. And that will let everybody know that you are out there, this is your company logo. And once they start hearing your name and reading your name on either domain names or your website or social media, they'll connect the name with the logo, and then everything will start flying, because familiarity and exposure is the key to everything. Now, the next thing I thought about doing, and remember, you saw it here first, is creating QR codes. So I created QR codes for Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, and YouTube. And then what I did was I stuck them on my phone, so every time somebody came along, I could say, oh, would you like to look at my YouTube channel, or have you looked at my LinkedIn page or Facebook page? And I would show them a QR code that I had screenshot from my phone, and I had put it on Google Drive, and I could just go to Google Drive, go into QR code, and there it was. Now there is a free app, QR Code Generator. It's free, it generates your codes, you put all the information in, so you can have a business card, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube, or a website. It's a genius idea, it's very simple, and the next thing I did was I created, just like this, a big pile of compliment slips. So if we take these out of the bag, this is what I did. So I will write, thank you for your business, or I hope you enjoy your product, or please let me know if you have any queries or issues. And you pop it on one simple compliment slip, just like this. And then at the bottom here, as you can see, you can scan either Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, and or YouTube. And these are working QR codes. They are very effective. It's neat, it's simple. I have done different sizes of compliment slip for a long message or a short message. And that is the next thing that I did. Now, along with QR codes, because I think they are really definitely the way forward for everything, is I started realizing that, of course, every camera on the planet has the ability to read a QR code. So as you send out your envelopes, everybody that sees this logo here, that you've got from there and stuck on here, they're going to see it, they're going to hear your name, they're going to see your logo, they're going to connect the two, and you're going to start getting out there and start getting advertised and published. With QR codes, I happen to notice that a lot of the time when you go to a post office, they will stick a little QR code or a barcode on your envelope when it's prepaid. So you return something to Amazon, you print off a QR code or a barcode, or you even scan at the post office, they print it off, they slap it on your envelope, and off it goes. So I realized that every camera on the planet is going to recognize and know how to read QR codes. Now, the way that I would explain it to people is, if you imagine a camera's brain like a bucket of sand, every single time a camera sees that QR code, whether it has the knowledge to understand how it works or not, it is going to read it, and somewhere in that brain it is going to register it, and it is going to recognize and remember it, whether it knows how to process it or not. So effectively, a little grain of sand turns blue, and that is the QR code knowledge that has been stored in the camera. Now, the way I would explain it is, if you imagine a room full of people and they're all speaking 1,000 different languages and they're all shouting all at once, nobody's going to understand what a single person is saying, because they're all talking in a different language. This is like the camera's brain when it receives a QR code and it doesn't understand what it is and doesn't know what to do with it. You get a second person that walks in that room and they start speaking the same language as one person. They're going to go, hold on a minute, I speak that language and I understand it, but I speak your language and I understand yours. And then suddenly that person can communicate with two different people by speaking the one language to the one person and translating it to another person. So in the same way, as technology develops, and remember you heard this idea here first, as technology develops, those cameras are somehow going to get connected through Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, or the internet and broadband, and they're going to connect with another device that knows how to read a QR code. And at some point, the secondary device is going to explain to the first device how to read a QR code and what to do with it. And then suddenly, as your envelope is going through 1,000 different cameras, through scanning, through the post office, through people having a look at it when they're delivering it or picking it up, when it gets chucked in the recycle bin, when it gets thrown down the street, the more exposure to your QR code you can get from cameras and eyes, the more that is going to spread. So for example, what you do is you bet a big pile like this from a good company, and you print off big stickers, and these are stickers but I won't peel the back off, of your QR code. Now this is for my YouTube channel because I do not have a website yet. So you print off a big pile of these, and then what you do, just to jump in, is you go onto Amazon and you buy a great big pile of stamps. If you go to Amazon and buy stamps, they are cheaper than the post office. You are saving money. You might be saving 20-30p if you buy 12 or 24, but you buy 200 and suddenly you're saving £2-3. So you buy your big pile of stamps, you create your QR code stickers. Once you've created your QR code stickers, what you do is you get your package and you put everything that you would like in your package and you seal it with your little envelope seal, and on the front you put the address, and in the bottom left hand corner what you do is you put your QR code sticker, just like that. Now what you have to imagine is this will go to the post office and they may not understand, or the postman will pick it up and think, QR code, I will try and scan it. And whether he goes, oh no, YouTube channel, I don't want that, he will discard it. But now his machine has your QR code in its brain. It'll go through the sorting office, through 1,000 different readers and cameras, and because it's on the front with the address, it'll go jump, 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 and it will read it, and it will process it, and it will stick it in the computer's brain. And as soon as technology starts developing more, and the computers and the cameras in the post office, in the sorting office, in everybody's phone walking down the street are able to connect with each other through broadband, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi and so on, they're all going to start understanding how to read a QR code and what to do with it. And as you will see this, you will read it and go, oh look, it's the myth-busting locksmith, and that will stay in the computer's brain forever and it will just fly. So branding is so important, because with your stickers you get your name across, sorry, not your name, you'll get your logo across, and when they see your name they will connect your name with your logo, and that will be seen by everybody. This will be seen by Joe Blogs in the post office, it will be seen by the postman, it will be seen by people delivering the letters, and it will be seen in the recycle bin when it gets thrown away, and every person that touches it will see that logo, will see your name, and it will start to pick up. Compliment slips, as we said, very good, because you can pop it in and go, thank you for your business. They have the 4 different social media sites so they can scan your QR code, and word will spread. It's on your camera, you can photograph it, you can send it to your mates, whatever. QR codes, absolutely genius idea, I think, to be honest, because every camera that sees is going to recognize it, is going to hold on to it in its brain, and as everything gets connected, that is going to cause an algorithm that is going to spread. Now, when I say an algorithm, it really is going to connect it, because a while ago I kept putting my original locksmith name into Google, and I kept doing it on different devices in the area, on about 10 different computers and on about 20 different phones, and within a month I managed to get up to being the 3rd one to pop up every single time I put 2 or 3 characters in. Not the whole name, not half the name, but literally 3 characters. Now I've changed the name, I need to build up my algorithm again, but with a QR code, that is going to hit every camera. Every camera that sees it is going to see, it's going to remember it, it's going to process it, and when it has the ability, it is going to understand it, and it is going to create an algorithm, and you are going to get way famous. Stamps, not so much a branding issue, but again, it's a money-saving idea. And the other thing you need is a gimmick. A sensible gimmick, a serious gimmick, but something that people will like. Now, originally I thought of key rings, and then I thought if you lose your keys, then you've lost your keys, you lost your key ring. You're not going to know the name, you're not going to know the brand, you're not going to know who to call. But on the other side of it, I was looking for something original, and I came up with this amazing idea that if you get your little bottle opener, and if you don't know what's going on, you have your little tin opener here. As you can see here, about there, you've got the 2M security name, you've got my number, and you've got the fact that I'm a locksmith. Now, the reason it's done like this is because I am a locksmith. I will have other people dealing with biometric locks, other ones will come up doing access control, and so on and so forth. So you want access control, you get 2M security access control person. You want biometrics, you get 2M security biometrics person. You want me, you get 2M security locksmith. Consultancy will come along as well, and that will be another person. So you've got your QR code, you've got your compliment slips, you've got your little stickers on the back, you've got your idea for a keyring. But the thing to do is do what I did, and what I did was this. I invested in a pile. I worked out how much they cost me, how much I should sell them for, and I worked out how many I could give away as little gimmicks for people to have a little key ring. It's a lovely thing. It's a bottle opener, it's a tin opener, it's the logo. It's green, it goes with my branding perfectly, and after I gave away 15 to 20, I started selling them. Now, you make a very small profit on these if you keep the price low, but you say to somebody, have one of these for a couple of quid. It's nothing. It's a lovely thing, but it's nothing in price. But if you sell 200 of them, if you're making 50p, you've made £100. If you're making £1 profit each time, you've made £200. So my final bit of advice: get the branding, get the marketing, get the advertising, logo, QR codes all the way. Stick them on the front of your envelopes. Every camera that sees it's going to smash it. Stick a couple inside and say to somebody, why don't you stick that somewhere naughty when you're out and about, on a lamppost or a bin, or somewhere a little bit naughty. Don't get caught. And everyone that sees it will scan it, and they'll always remember you, and they will never forget you. And on the other hand, buy some of these. These are fantastic. I love them. You buy them for a couple of quid, although you do have to buy them in bulk. Make 50p profit, buy 200 of them, sell them all, you've made 100 quid profit. What can you do? It's a lot of selling, but it's a little bit of money in the bank. So branding, advertising, marketing, exposure with QR codes, exposure with your logo, exposure by your compliment slips, get the stickers, get the key rings, get your marketing on your envelopes, stick them in your envelopes to people, and go onto Amazon and buy stamps in mass, in bulk, because if you save 20p on buying 12, buy 120, save 2 quid. Buy 240, save 4 quid. It's all about saving the pennies, saving the money, making the money through small, fun little gimmicks. But at the end of the day, it's what? It's a £2-3 keyring. It's got your number, it's got your company, it's got what you do as a locksmith. It tells them everything they need to know. You can't go wrong. And that is how you build your business from day one. Get exposure, get marketing, get out there. That's it. Hope you liked it. A little bit passionate, a little bit long, but that will be my tip to all new locksmiths starting up, trying to get out there. And if people are negative or disregard or such a bad idea or anything else, ignore them. Because you imagine you post one letter with this and the logo on the back like this, that's one letter, goes through the system. You imagine how many people are going to see that. How many cameras rather are going to see that go past every single day on its journey from A to B and in the bin and out the other side. That's all I have to say. Ignore the negative, remember the positive. This is for new locksmiths, new business, new people up and coming. Please contact me with questions anytime. This is not for the old school established, we've been doing it for 20 years, mate, this is a crap idea locksmiths, because I don't need the negative from them, because I trained over 2 years. I started my business 2 years ago on a part-time basis. I have made up in profit over half what I've spent out in total, and my business is growing exponentially, and it's because of marketing and social media. Little gimmick giveaways and small profit here and there, logos on your envelopes, QR codes on anything that the camera's going to see, You can't go wrong. It doesn't cost a lot. And if you want a rough sort of price, I think these were about 20 quid. I think 240 of these was about 30 or 40 quid. These you have to buy at 125 key rings a go, and they cost around 125 key rings cost, I think, about £200. But sell them for 50p more, sell them for £1 more. You knock out a keyring at 3 quid, you're making £1, 14p. You buy 200 of them, they knock 20p off the price. You can go out and buy 200, you're going to make £1.34p profit if you sell them at £3 a go. So you sell all of those, you made 369 quid in your hand by selling 300 key rings. It's easy money. But advertising, branding, new locksmiths only, all the old locksmiths are established, they've got their way. Not for you, you're out there already. So take it on board, take it to the bank, and be successful. Be the very best you can be, because all us new locksmiths deserves to smash this market, get out there and get our ideas, because we're young, we're relentless, we're full of energy, and we really need to start going, world, we're locksmiths.